Hey guys, come on in. Hello, hello. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. Oops, I got a piece of hair on me. Come on in. Welcome to my page. And we have a beach theme. I'm going to be in an event with Grace Creations in just a couple of minutes. Oh, isn't that so cute? So Diana is just finishing up. She had the 3 o'clock slot, and we have a beach theme with Grace Creations today. So I'm going to work with these rub-on transfers. So we'll see where this is going to take us. I've got a couple of different surfaces that I'm going to work with. I'm going to use a kind of a travel jewelry box this size and or this size. So we will see where all of this takes us. And you know, these are just little inexpensive travel boxes or travel jewelry boxes. So in 1 minute we are going to get going here and see where this is going to take us. So give it just a minute. And so how's everybody doing today? Oh, this is cute. Okay, so this is what the inside looks like. And then it's got a flat, I don't know if I'm real thrilled with the smell. It's got a pretty strong perfume smell on it. And then it's got like little, you know, places to put your necklaces and a little flap to put them down in. So this is what we're going to be working with today. We'll see where this is going to take us. Hey, Ruby, how are you? Come on in. Pink is the theme of the paint today. So I guess I was feeling pink. I wore a pink shirt, and then I ended up doing a pink project. So we'll see where we all go. Let me refresh this page and see. Let me see, Grace Creations. There we go. Just waiting to be shared into the group. And for a few people to pop on. I do not know why I can't ever seem to find. Okay, so waiting. All right, let me go into refresh that. Checking to see. All right, hang on, y'all. Let's see here. If I need to share myself in here. Live. Let's see how this works. Am I in the group? Sherry, are you there? Oh, let's see how I need to do the share. Here we go. Share to group. Something isn't working. So I wonder what is going on with, I had trouble sharing someone in the other day. Hey Sherry, how are you? Come on in. And let me see, GRACE. Hey Leslie, loved what you made today. You know what I thought about when I saw you coming on, when I saw you on your page today, I'm wondering if you're looking into painting those eggs like I told you. That's what I think you should do. You do a lot of small stuff well. So, all right, let's see here. All right, looks like I could be in there now. All right, interesting. We'll put this over here. All right, y'all share me out there. Let's see what we're gonna do, how this is gonna turn out. So I've got this jewelry box, and we're gonna take and decorate it. We're gonna do, today is a beach theme. So what I'm thinking is that we will take this VW bus, and I'm thinking I want to put that on the front. And I also, I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on this one or something else, but I thought that we would put on here to the beach. So let me cut a couple of these out. I'm going to cut the to the beach out. I don't know if I'm going to pair that with the VW bus, or if I'm going to just put it somewhere else. So we will see. I love the shell that you did, Leslie. That was absolutely gorgeous, how that turned out with all the bling and everything. All right, and so let's come in here on this side here. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. I never think things are going to take very long, and they always take longer than I think. So we're going to just kind of cut through these, try and get it as close to the edge as we can. I have, for the most part, I have already done a clear coat with Bonding Boss. And what, oh, that's not going to show up against that. I may have to do something about that. All right, maybe I need to put the top of this. All right, I may have to paint the top of this white because I think this color is not going to, yeah, it's going to get lost on that. So let me get some white out and we'll see where we go with this. I've got some cotton here. So I'm going to go ahead and we will take this. Hey, Sherry, thanks for sprinkling me out there. I appreciate it. All right, I got some sticks here to kind of water this down. And you know what, y'all? This is like so dangerous for me. The last thing I need to do is get paint on one of the few shirts that I own, because I'm in the messy paint club with everybody else who's in there. Sherry was talking about that on her live today, and it's like, pick me, it's me. I'm a messy painter too. It's like I tell people all the time, I can walk by a paint can or a paint jar and get paint on me. My husband can swim in a paint can and not get anything on him. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and let's get that out of the way. I didn't think I was going to have to paint this, but after I look at it, I think that's going to be my best bet, y'all, because this is kind of a cream color, and I want this to go against a white background. Now, I have already put, what's it called? Bonding Boss. I put a clear Bonding Boss because I didn't know how this particular material, it's kind of like a pleather. I wasn't quite sure how it would take to the paint. So because anytime you have like a slick coat surface, all right, just going to go around the corner here. Because I want to put this on a white surface and not a cream surface. But anytime you have like a slick surface, you either need to sand it or you need to use some kind of primer. But hey, Barbara, how are you feeling, Barbara? I am so sorry to hear that you're having migraines all the time. Do they know what's causing it? You've been able to figure it out? All right, here we go. Going around the horn. We're going to just kind of play with this and see where it takes us, y'all. Now, one of the keys of getting a good edge with your paintbrush is to have a good amount of paint on there so that it's not dragging. And so that's what I'm doing, is just going along this edge and making sure that I have enough. Hey, Rosa, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it. So y'all are in an event with Grace Creations. The theme today is a beach theme. And so I don't know about what kind of experience y'all have with the beach, but I'm in not too far. Well, I'm in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is where I am is about 40 minutes from the ocean front. And all right, so let me get this dry. Oh no. Oh man, kidney stones are horrible. I hate kidney stones. All right, Lord, I just, in the name of Jesus, I command those stones to break up into small enough pieces that Barbara will be able to pass those stones without any pain. Amen. Oh, yay! Well, good for them. That gives you a break, doesn't it? I need to call you and check up and see how things are going. I'm going to put 2 coats of this on here. This is Dixie Belle. You're welcome, Barbara. This is Dixie Belle in the color Cotton. And I wanted to use that because the top of this, I don't know if you can see it, it's an ivory. And you see how it's against a white background? So if I put that ivory next to the ivory, we're not going to see much. So I wanted to put the base coat of the bonding gloss down because I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time base coating and then drying and then base coating and drying again. So we'll see how we do here. I am going to put some pink on here. Where is my pink? Oh, it's right here in front of me. So this is Dixie Belle in the color soft pink, and it pretty much matches the rub-on transfer that I want to use. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. So I'm going to put these 2 together, and we'll see where we go with it. And then I want to put some Harlequin maybe around the edges or something. All right, here we go, y'all. Turn that on. All right, let's see how this is going to go. I am thinking, how do I want to do this? Do I want maybe... That's not going to work. Let's see here. All right, I've got to figure out how I want to put this on here. I want to get another coat on this so that it's actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna sand this before I add that second coat. Just a light sand so that it's nice and smooth. All right, let's put a second coat on here. We have a cottage down at the Outer Banks that we own with 9 other families. And so I haven't been down in a while because going up and down the steps is not easy for me. But I grew up going to the beach with my sister a lot, and you know, she's 2.5 years older than me, so she would drive us to the beach, and she would, you know, we'd bring our radio and our baby oil, and as much oil as we could slather on us is what we put on us. Now I don't get out in the sun hardly any, but when I was a teenager, boy, we were there all the time. And I've told you all this before. I could actually, because, remember back in the, well, I don't know, because I don't listen to the radio a lot now. But remember, on the radio, how they tell you what the time is? Well, I used to look up at the sky, and it was all subconscious. I used to look up at the sky, and I'm going to put that in the water because I don't think I need this white again. But I would look up at the sky, and I could tell where the sun was, and we went to the beach so much that it got to the point that I could literally look up at the sky, and really within about 15 minutes, I could tell you what time it was. A lot of times it was spot on, most of the time. But, we played in the waves. I remember my son just got he bought a yellow bathing suit, which is pretty, but I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you my experience about light colors and bathing suits. My sister got this really pretty lime green. It's about this color. Okay, it was neon green. And she came out of the water and it was completely transparent. And so that year I ended up meeting her at the water's edge with a towel so that she could get back up to the beach and we could continue to sunbathe. But had a lot of, what are some of the experiences y'all have had with a bathing suit? It was like, you may not want to just go prancing around with that after you get out of the water. Because, we'd lay out in the sun, and then it would get hot. Because we wanted it to be 90 degrees or above. That was the way we wanted our sun. And of course, we got there early. We usually, we got to the beach like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't even get out of bed before that now. Now I'm awake, but I'm, lying there doing stuff on my phone. Sometimes I'm still sleeping, but I usually stay up late. All right, this is looking good. All right, y'all. How do we want to do this is the question. I'm wondering if I want to do the whole thing on here or if I want, all right, hold on. Let's see what we got here. There's a shell. I kind of want to do this sideways, kind of off center, and maybe put to the beach on here. On the front. I could probably fit that about right there. I think that's what I want to do, y'all. Let's try it. Oh, you know what? No, I don't think I want to wrap it around the side. All right, let me think about this a minute. Could do to the beach. I think I want to do that. I think that's what I want to do, which means that I probably should do the bottom one first. So let's do this one first. All right, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Let's put this on here and see where it takes us. I have not done these rub-on transfers on this kind of material, so we're going to see. It's not really a hard surface. It's kind of cushiony. So we'll see what happens. See if I can look this up. All right, looks like it's gonna come up, y'all. Yep. I didn't think about the fact that I probably should have put this on the bottom where it's harder. All right, here we go. It's going to come on here. And I'm going to wrap that around. I love these stencils, these rub-on stencils, transfers, whatever we want to call them. Oh, I like pink. I am a pink gal. I'm not a purple person. It's very seldom that you will see me craft in purple. And if I do, it'll be a deep purple. All right, y'all, this is working. There it is. Okay, I'm liking this. All right, let me show you what we got. So far, so good. All right, so we've got To the Beach, and then we're going to take and we are going to put, let me put this over here on the side. And we are going to close this up because I'm not going to use it right this minute. And we're going to come over here and we are going to, all right, let's go ahead. I think the best way for me to do this is I'm going to put this on here. That's going to work. And we're going to just go ahead and I'm going to rub this just on the top. And then I think I'm going to cut off the excess. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oops. I don't think, I want to save the sides for something else, but I don't know. Maybe, all right, hold on a minute, y'all. Let me think this through. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. Let's get this top part done. Oh, I hope this turns out. I think it'll be so cute. But anyway, we've got a cottage that my dad was when he retired from the Navy, he had another friend in the Navy who retired about the same time, and they went into real estate. And Billy Coons ended up, he knew all these, and then my dad went into furniture, he had a furniture store. He didn't stay, he kept his realtor's license, but that was not his dominant source of income. And he tried a couple of different things and loved the furniture business. And anyway, his friend who went into real estate, he actually ended up buying a franchise. And what he did was he ended up, this isn't sticking to the other transfer. That's interesting. Oh, there it goes. He knew all kinds of people from different businesses. My dad had a furniture store. He knew someone who was a plumber. And he brought together 10 different people, and everybody invested the same, either the same amount of money or the same amount of like merchandise that would equal that amount of money. And what my dad did was he furnished the cottage. And like I said, there were 10 people, and all right, let's see if we can get this on here, y'all. It's not releasing like I want it to. All right, I do think that I want to bring it around to the side, but then I'm going to cut it off at the, before I get to the bottom. All right, here we go. So anyway, there are 10 owners of this cottage, and we get it 5 weeks out of the year. And we used to go down all 5 weeks. We don't anymore because of the, hey Lena. Hey Jessica, thanks for joining me. I can use the viewers, I appreciate it. I mean, we would go down in February and we would be blessed with the most amazing weather. It would be cold and rainy before we went down. And then when we got down there, you know, like the week before or something. And then when we got down there, you know, it would be like every year in February, we have like one really, really awesome week of weather where it's not cold like it had been, and, you know, 70 degrees or 65, you know, just really beautiful weather. And it tended, God just really blessed us with us good weather whenever we had a February or a March month, because it can be kind of cold still here. Some of the worst snowstorms we've had were in March. We don't get a whole lot of snow in southeastern Virginia because we're too close to the water, and that makes a difference. All right, I'm still trying to get this off of here, y'all. I had not considered the pillow effect on here. All right, here we go. Anyway, so, you know, we pay, you know, like a annual amount of dues, and that pays for the electricity and, you know, repairs for the cottage, insurance, all that kind of stuff. And it started out as a kind of like a gentleman's handshake, where even though there were bylaws, you know, there were bylaws that were drawn up, and you know, we don't have the same group of people from the original owners, because this was like 30 years ago, y'all. Let me turn this over just a little bit. This was like 30 years ago when the cottage was built and everything, and so this had a lot of changes in ownership and new furniture and all of that. And we typically, okay, so what I'm doing, if y'all are seeing what I'm doing, I typically take my finger and just gently pick it up from the edge. All right, now I want to wrap this around, and I think I want to stop this before, oh gosh, I think that paint's stuck. There we go. I want to stop this before I get to the bottom, because I'm going to do something else with that. So let's see if we can get this. Oh boy. I think I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut this, because this is right on a curve. All right, that'll work. A little bit of all right, I'm going to go ahead and grab that edge there, and then we're going to grab this edge here. See if I can. All right, we got to pull, I need to pull this off of here. It's kind of a little tricky spot here. This was supposed to be the quick and easy part, y'all. See, I just can't ever seem to get that time thing down. But anyway, so, you know, we love going down there, and our son, our older son, well, let me back up. My nephews are now like 40, gosh, 80, 46 and 48 or something like that. And my mom, because my mom and dad were, you know, original owners, and we used to always go down on their weeks. And anyway, my nephews, all right, let me see how I want to do this, y'all. My mom used to tell him, why don't y'all, because it was right on the golf course. And of course, the golfers always, you know, there were always balls on our property. And so my mother would always tell my nephews, they were the first grandchildren from my sister. My mom would say, why don't y'all go out and collect golf balls and sell them back to the golfers? Well, they were never interested in doing that. But our older son, he came along, and, you know, we told him about it, you know, well, would you want, you know, something to do in the evening? And so in the evening, he and my husband and my younger son, they would go out and they would hunt for golf balls, and they would clean them up, and then they would Mark set up a stand, 25 cents for used golf balls, and so this is like 25 years ago, y'all, and 50 cents for, you know, like new, or, you know, he had different variations of, all right, let's see what this is doing here. All right, looking good, looking good. All right, so I think this is going to work going around this edge. So long story short, he's a little entrepreneur, and he is a, what do you call it? Oh, shoot. It's an easy word, but words escape me. All I can think of is franchise, and it's not franchise. Anyway, he's his own businessman. And, oh, y'all, this is going to be so cool. All right. I'm glad I put this around the side. All right, so what is going to happen? All right, let me see what we got here. So anyway, Mark would set up his stand. I think I'm going to wrap this all the way into the inside, y'all. Why not, right? Why waste it? Because it's going to fit. All right, let me see if I can show y'all what I'm going to do. This is going to actually, the way I have put this, it's going to go perfectly around that corner. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Can y'all, no you can't. Anyway, so, I mean, we have taken so many friends and groups down to that cottage. All right, there it goes, y'all. Oh my gosh, will you look at that? Okay, let me show you what we got. All right, so we started with this, and then it's going to wrap around, and then, I don't think you can really tell. Let's see if I can get it in there. It comes around and goes back inside there. So let me get this nice. I don't know. What kind of sealant can you put on these rub-on transfers? I did one sealant and it like ate it away. So I want to be careful. I may have to spray something. All right, y'all. That looks amazing. Okay, so this is what we have. This is the front. And there's the side. And I'm going to come and I'm going to put Harlequin diamonds on the bottom part of this. All right, so I'm going to throw this away. And now what I think I want to do, oh my gosh, y'all, I love this. All right, so I think what I want to do is I want to paint the bottom of this in pink, and I want to put some stripes on the bottom of this. So we're going to do some stripes and some Harlequin. And I also think, all right, hold on a minute, because I got to think this through. I need to get the junk that was on my craft table off of there. All right, so what if we take, all right, I'm thinking as I go, y'all. How we doing on time? All right, 4:30. I think we'll be able to do this. We're going to open this up. That is not quite the same color. I don't like that color with that. It's the wrong pink. It's got like too much red or something in it. All right, let me try. Let me think, because I thought I wanted to paint that pink, but I don't like it that close to. But I think I could do the pink on the back side since it's not right next to it. All right, changing my plan. I am going to get, where's my white brush? I'm going to put some white on here. So anyway, Mark he turned it into a business. And freelancer, that's the word I'm looking for. He's a freelancer. He's a lighting specialist. And what he does is he rents out he has like all these different kinds of lights in the film industry. And he rents out, he'll like go and get jobs. All right, I think I want to, all right, I'm going to paint this bottom section in white. And y'all will see why in just a minute. But I want to go ahead and paint this section white. So he will get film jobs where he does the lighting for them, and then he will take his lights and he will rent them to the producers who are doing the films. And anyway, his beginnings started down at the beach when he would sell golf balls back to the golfers. And I'm telling you, they made good money. I used to tell everybody, because we used to bring families down there with us, and I used to tell them, I said, this is the only place you can go on vacation where you come back with more money than you left with. Because the kids, they would sit out there in that hot sun, and they would, sell to the golfers, and then they would make money. And then we would go up. This was when the Beanie Babies were a big craze at that time. And anyway, so then what we would do is, after the day was over, and the kids would get showers, and we would go up to Duck, and they had a store that had Beanie Babies. And so, all right, hang on, I got to think about this. I'm getting close to this edge here. So they would all go and get, whatever Beanie Baby they wanted with the money that they had earned. And, well, it got to the point where, when the kids were younger, they would go out there and they would sit. Mark always lasted longer because he was more determined. And anyway, as time progressed, when some of the kids got older, they didn't want to sit out in that sun, but they wanted dibs on the money that was made. So Mark got really, really frustrated because he was doing all this work, and they were getting dibs on the profits. So he put a stop to that. He wrote a contract. I mean, he had to be like 10 or 11 years old when he did this. He wrote a contract and said, these are the conditions. If you want, any of the profit, you've got to work. There's to be no slacking. And so, some of the kids, they didn't want to be out in the heat, so they were fine not getting any of the earnings. But Mark's, he stuck to his guns, and I was like, well, good for you. And and he's a great businessman. He has the gift of giving. Hey, Poodle Crochet, hey, welcome in. Good to see you. What is your first name? Hey, Crazy Granny Diane, loved what you did. You always do fun stuff. But anyway, so he put these conditions out there, and these were even his friends. I mean, some of these kids that went down to the cottage with us, we were friends with their whole family because we homeschooled. And all right, let's see what we got here. That looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna put some Harlequin stuff there. So let me dry this. But anyway, so, and they had to sign the contract. He was so funny, and he's still, he's a great businessman. So when he moved out to California, he packed his car up. We're on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast. And, oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Anyway, he got out there, and the car that he was driving, he ended up getting in an accident. And the payout for the car ended up being more than he paid for the car. I said, you're the only person that I know of that can buy a used car, have it totaled, and you end up getting more money than what you paid for it. He had bought into some kind of insurance claim that California had, that I can't even remember all the conditions and everything, but you ended up getting more money. And because this was a used car, I don't know how it all worked out. All I know is he had 2 accidents out there, and both times he got more money than he paid for the car. And I said, only Mark can do that. I call him King Midas. And one Christmas, I gave him a towel that had in gold metallic embroidery thread on my machine, embroidery machine. I gave him a towel that said King Midas on it, because everything he touched, he made money off of. But I think a lot of that is because he's such a big giver. He doesn't let his left hand know what his right hand is giving, and he's very generous. And anyway, hey, Lynn. Oh, you know, I have to tell you, the government there, you know, they're doing shiesty stuff and everything. But one of the times when I went out to California, I think it was the second time I went out there, Lynn, I got off of the plane, you know, and I was thinking about, oh, these Californians and, you know, all of this. And the Lord disciplined me. And he said that, you know, he reminded me that he loved, oh, you know what, I want to sand this before I put another coat on his. I'm not getting very as far as I thought I was going to get, y'all. But anyway, the Lord disciplined me and told me that he loved the people in California just as much as he loved the people in Virginia, and he wanted me to love them too. And he changed my heart. He literally changed my heart from, you know, I wish they'd stop voting blue, or, you know, whatever. And so I started seeing them in a different light, and I just really fell in love with the people in California. Didn't fall in love with the ones who were ruining the state, but I did fall in love with the people. And God showed me, he opened my eyes and my heart to see just how amazing they are. And they are. There's a lot of awesome. Okay, I'm just going to paint over this, y'all, because I keep trying to not do it and it's not turning out so. But I was there for 6 weeks because Mark had he got a concussion at work. And now you got to understand, this is our child who, you know, he doesn't look back. He moves forward and doesn't look back. And so when he started calling us pretty regularly, I was like, something's not right. He told us he got a concussion, but he just kept calling and, you know, checking in with us. And this is very atypical for him. And all right, this second coat was definitely needed, y'all. But I'm not gonna do the back of this. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a kind of a two-tone look to it. But I'm gonna put the Harlequin on this part down here after this dries. But anyway, I was out there for 6 weeks helping him, you know, taking care of him, and I brought stuff to do my lives out there and everything. And oh my gosh, it was an amazing time. You know, it was a real eye-opener for me, and about a lot of things. But okay, let me see. This part right here needs a second coat. But all right, so there we go. So we've got that. We're gonna have like a little bit of a two-tone here. And let's dry this and see where we go. I've got 18 minutes. But he's a big giver, and you know, you can't outgive God. You just can't. And the more he gave, the more money he made. And he's been that way his whole life. He went to a vacation Bible school. He was maybe 10 or 11. He did a lot of stuff when he was about 10 or 11. The vacation Bible school, the church that was having the vacation Bible school, asked the kids to bring in money to the missionaries. And anyway, he had, you remember the old film containers? Well, he took like, I don't know how many film containers, but he filled it up with quarters from his allowance that he had and money that he had made from golf balls. And oh, that was, yeah, he was 10, because that was the year that the 4-H group came down to the cottage, and they did a fundraiser to raise money to go to camp, 4-H camp. And that weekend, y'all gonna think this is nuts when I tell you. That weekend, the kids, there were 9 or 10 of them, and they all had to work the stand if they wanted to get money. Well, the 4-H group that had just reopened in our area was going to give them half scholarships. I told the director, I said, I don't want it given to them. I want them to work a little bit for it. So the what's it called? Anyway, the 4-H division there, what they did was they said they gave the kids half scholarships to go to 4-H camp, and then they had to raise the other half, because you know, you appreciate it a little bit more when, all right, this is going to be pretty cool, y'all. They raised, all right, y'all give me a number. How much money do you think these kids raised selling golf balls that weekend? Just put some number down. These are 10-year-olds, okay? Collecting golf balls and then selling them back to golfers at $0.25 and 50 cents a piece. We tried selling rolls, but nobody wanted the homemade rolls, and I don't blame them. I mean, they were good. Oh, that was not quite 400. It was half that. They made $208 selling golf balls that weekend. And then they had a donut fundraiser that they did. Yeah. Yep, 200. 200 was what they made. And then they went out and sold Krispy Kreme donuts, and they made more on the Krispy Kreme donuts than they did on the golf balls. So now guess what you think they made on selling donuts? This was for horseback riding, so they could go horseback riding. All right, so there is that. Let's put this away, because I don't think I'm going to have time to get to the bottom. So I'm going to just go around the edge. So how much do y'all think they made selling Krispy Kreme donuts? That was for their 4-H group for horseback riding. They had to pay, I think that it ended up, what we ended up doing is the kids paid, the parents paid half, and then the other, or maybe it all came out of there. They made, all right, I'm going to put a stencil out here. They made $800 selling donuts. That was their fundraiser for their, activities that they did and stuff like that. $800 selling donuts. Is that not crazy? And they went out in the neighborhoods and, took orders and, had a date of when they were going to be delivered. And when it was all said and done, they had made $800. I mean, it was like God just really, really blessed these kids. And so anyway, all of that to say that, I wonder how I want to do this, y'all. I think, what kind of brush do I want to use? I think I want one of these little brushes here. All right, let me see. I think that'll work. All right, I don't normally do these stencils on. All right, I'm going to start here. I'm not really, what's the word I want to use? I don't have a whole lot of experience doing it like this, so let me see how I'm going to do this. Maybe I want to do it this way. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Because that way I've got the weight of this kind of being held up by... All right, here we go, y'all. Let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, it's going to work. Looky there. Okay, we got 2 of them down. So now I'm going to just kind of move along. It's kind of an awkward, very, very awkward. Not quite sure how to do this, y'all. I'm going to line that one back up, line that one back up, and got to be an easier way to do this. Sherry, you're the stencil queen with different shapes. All right, on the straightaway, it's not too hard. This is pretty easy up to this point here. And we're going to bring this around. All right, so this is what we have so far, y'all. Oh, I gotta watch my fingers because I got paint all over my fingers. I'm gonna get it all over my project if I'm not careful. All right, so we're gonna take that and now we're going to move this down. Let's see. All right, let me dry it so that I don't smudge it like I am. I may go over this with, I don't typically do wax, but I may go over this with a little bit of wax and see what happens. How are we doing on time? I got 10 minutes. All right, let me, you know what? I am so bad with this, y'all, and I am so sorry. I am in an event with Grace Creations, and with amazing, talented crafters. If you are not part of Grace Creations free group, there is a link at the top of the page that you can click on. It's a clickable link. And hang on. And you can become part of the group. And then when we go live, you can, oh gosh. Yeah, I'm going to have to like smudge this up because or dirty it up is I think what y'all say. And then when we go live, you'll get notified and you'll be able to hop on and see all the incredible talent that is in this group. For me, it is like such an honor to be part of this group for me because, you know, I never thought that I would, you know, I've always, you know, done like little crafting stuff and things like that, but not on the level that God has taken me with. So the fact that, oh gosh, how are we going to do this? Because that's like right in the front too. It's like that little snap. Probably should have started at the snap. Lesson learned. But anyway, there's just like, such a variety of talent. There's painters, there's decoupagers, there's wreath makers, there's floral, people who do florals, and you know, you can learn just about a little bit of everything by watching the different crafters and, you know, what they're making that day. All right, so there we go. I think I want to put maybe a black border along the top and bottom of this. All right, let me dry it. So what are y'all thinking so far? So anyway, it was so funny when God called me to be a 4-H leader. I was for certain he had the wrong person because I have never done 4-H. Well, you know, that's just the way God works. You know, he's not going to have you do something necessarily that you do well, but he's going to have something that you will lean on him for. And boy, did I lean on him. It was like, you know, I even told him, I said, God, I think you called the wrong person. I think you're supposed to call Cindy to do this. And of course, you know, we all laughed about it after that, but that was kind of like, all right, got my hands clean. And no, God was not confused with who he wanted to be in charge of the 4-H group. And, you know, he usually knows what he's doing. Not usually. He always knows what he's doing. And, all right, here we go, y'all. We're going to come around the horn here. All right, I got a good sturdy solid holding on to this. And one of the gals who was in our co-op, our homeschooling co-op, she said if you want to start the 4-H group, she said, and this is how God worked. If you want to start a 4-H group, I will partner with you, and we can do it together. And oh my gosh, was she not a blessing? This woman, there was nothing that she could not do. And she went home to be with the Lord, gosh, maybe about 10 years ago or so. She ended up with Alzheimer's, and she baked, she taught chemistry, oh my gosh, you name it, she did it. There was nothing, I mean, everybody went to her for advice, and I mean, what a group of people that God brought me into. All right, let me see if I can close this, and then maybe, all right, let me dry this. How are we doing? I got 4 minutes. Not quite as clean as I would like for it to look, but it's okay, y'all. I think I'm going to do maybe some dry brushing or something. Because I've got like little bits of where my fingers and where I have kind of gone off the edge here. And of course, I wanted to put bling on here, but I never seemed to get time to get to the bling. All right, so that's all we're going to do for that. All right, let me show you what I have, y'all. Let me wipe my fingers off. Now, I was thinking what I want to do is maybe do some black and white stripes on the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to do black or if I'm going to do pink. But let me show you some of the bling that I have. So I want to take this bling here. I don't know if y'all can even see that. And I want to go along the edge with that. Let me bring y'all in here. I've got 3 minutes. I'm going to just show you what I want to do. So I'm going to take this rhinestone trim here. Can y'all see that? And then we've got the Harlequin. And then I'm also thinking that, let's see if I want it. I may put, I may put some of this along the edge. I haven't decided if I'm going to, I can't put it there because there's a snap here. So I have to have the snap. So what I may do, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I need a smaller brush. All right, I think this is what I want to do. Let me just kind of pretend what I'm going to do. I think I want maybe a thin, I think what I want to do is put a thin black ribbon on the top and the bottom. Well, actually, it'll be this way. All right, so this is what we have. And of course, I dropped it in the paint. But I got one little smidge in there, but I can go over that. Okay, so this is what we have. And then we've got this on this side over here. And, okay, I'm not going to do anything on the inside. But I am going to do, I was thinking about, what time is it? 59. I don't have time. I was thinking about maybe putting a crab or something on the back side of this. So I'll have to finish that up. And then the other thing that I thought about, y'all make sure that you refresh your page was like you've got like a camera and a towel and a hat. I thought about putting that on the back because it's kind of like a vacation at the beach. So anyway, I'll have to finish that up. But after me is Crafting and Creating with Christina. And then at 6 o'clock is going to be Little of Me, Gifts and Specialties with Lisa. And Mary with the Painted Peach is at 7. And then at 8 o'clock, closing for us, is going to be Country Creekside Creations with Shantae. Make sure you join the Grace Creations group. And if you're not following the creators that are in the comments, please make sure that you follow them. I'd love it if you follow my page too and join me. And I do have a Telegram that you can join. And when I go live, I put that out there. All right, y'all, thanks for joining me. Here we go. We've got going to the beach, and then you can put your jewelry in here for the week or wherever you're going if you're traveling, and have a good time. So I hope y'all have a great night. I love you. Jesus loves you more. And go check out Crafting and Creating with Christina. She's up now. All right, bye, y'all.